Hey, I'm Oliver. In the last video, I had redesigned 3 out of the 7 Equestria girls, and as you've probably already guessed, we'll be redesigning the other 4. Despite this trend being a bit overdone, I still really enjoyed the entire process, so at the end of the video, you'll see the entire lineup from Twilight to Rarity. I just want to specify quickly that I'm not a professional at all, and this is all for silly ha-has, so don't think that I completely know what I'm talking about when I redesign these guys. So, on that note, let's move on to the first redesign, Fluttershy. Fluttershy was really interesting to redesign. Her original design wasn't terrible, her colors flowed nicely and they didn't burn my eyes, aside from the polka dotted bright pink socks that stand out like a ridiculous amount. In the movies, Fluttershy is probably the most unmemorable character. I mean it might be because I'm writing the script a couple weeks after watching the movies, but I can hardly recall moments with Fluttershy, but I can recall moments with other characters. I get that she's the shy and quiet one, but dude, make Fluttershy more memorable. It just doesn't make sense. With my redesign for Fluttershy, I wanted to go with a very cozy cottagecore-esque vibe. I know that's a mouthful, but you know what I mean. I think I was able to do that. Her outfit came out pretty naturally, so that was nice. I think that crocheting or knitting would be a legitimate hobby for Fluttershy. I see her just working on a project while her animals are just dogpiling the yarn, and I speak from experience. Her many projects would end up resulting in her cardigan that you see her wearing. It definitely has pet hair stuck in it, but she would still wear it either way, literally anywhere. On her original design, I liked the butterfly motif, so I placed a butterfly brooch on her hijab. I think it was a nice touch. And the flowers on her cardigan also kind of play into the butterfly thing, like a little garden that's kind of happening on her outfit, which I think is pretty cool. Despite the outfit being pretty easy to do, the color palette was difficult. With all the Equestria girls, I feel as if the colors are very random. The pink, the yellow, and the green all work together in the original design, but the random blue in her eyes kind of throws it off for me. I tried to include the blue, and then I wanted the green, and then the pink got put to the side, but in the end I was able to find a palette that was really enjoyable. I hope you enjoy her new design. I know I really enjoyed making her. Pinkie Pie is probably the busiest character to look at, but it makes the most sense for her character. Her character in the films is pretty funny. Her just super random, exaggerated moments are hilarious. Even in the series, Pinkie Pie has this weird way of predicting things. I'm unsure if there's a lore explanation for it, but they included it in the movies, and I thought that was a cool callback. With my redesign, I tried to go more colorful and fun to follow the key points of her character. It's funny because surprisingly, Pinkie Pie has the least amount of pins saved on my mood boards. There was 18 for Pinkie Pie, and then there was 30-something for the other ones. But I guess I just really knew what I wanted to do for her character. I wanted to put confetti in her hair because A, I feel like she would actually have that in her hair from accidentally popping a confetti cannon and just falling in it and her just running with it. Oh, my cat's joining me now. Okay, moving on. And then I also think that she would just find it super weird and cool, so she would do it anyways. I feel like the confetti would kind of be like glitter, once you put it somewhere it never goes away. When scrolling on Pinterest for her outfit, one particular reference really stood out to me and I ended up following it for the entire outfit. And the person that did that outfit was Ariel Sydney. Her outfits are really cool, and if you like colorful and fun looks, make sure to check her out on Instagram. Her link will be in the bio. I just felt like it wouldn't be right to kind of do that and then not credit the original artist, so yeah. I don't know how clear it is, but I tried to put glow sticks on her wrist to add to the party's always going attitude. One thing I'd like to quickly add about her vest is that she definitely begged Fluttershy to teach her to make one, and when it came to the patchworks, she just kind of threw them on her, by herself. You can tell on the speed paint that I was super unsure about the colors, which seems to be a little bit of a pattern. I was switching them up, and you might be able to see the flashes of the grayscale filter that I use to make sure my colors don't blend in too much. In the end, I think she came out pretty well. Applejack's original design wasn't bad per se, but I think it made the least amount of sense. Frankly, I think if she were to be working on a farm so much, she would not be as skinny as she is. I mentioned this in my last video, but despite them being made just to be dolls, it does not excuse the laziness of lacking body diversity. In the movies, Applejack's character is really enjoyable, probably my third favorite. I said in the last video, with Rainbow Dash's redesign, that I really think that Apple Dash is a thing. I know in the series that it is, but I know some people ship Applejack and Rarity in Equestria Girls, but I still love Apple Dash a little too much, so I had to keep it. On that note, let's yap about her design, shall we? First and foremost, I wanted to make her more muscular because, like I said before, considering she works on a farm, her being muscular makes the most sense. I also gave her freckles and a tooth gap. Just a side note, but I think tooth gaps are so underrated, they genuinely look really pretty. I wanted to make her colors pretty warm since she's out in the sun so much. I gave her overalls and some flannel. It may just be stereotypes, but farmer's plaid and denim just fit so well. I think that might be the Canadian in me too. I realized after finishing her redesign that the hat that the original design has holds lore importance, so it probably would have been better to keep that, but I went with the simple bandana because I thought it would be better to keep her hair out of her face. Obviously, I kept up with the apple motif with the overalls and the boots. If I took that out, would it really be Applejack? Finally, I gave her a rainbow bracelet like I did with Rainbow Dash just to match them up further. I hope you like her as much as I do. Rarity has the best of the original designs in my opinion. It fits well, the shapes are great, and the colors look good and everything. In the movies, she's pretty enjoyable as a character. She can be a lot, but she's pretty fun overall. Sort of like Rainbow Dash situation. She can be annoying, but in the end you still love her. Her redesign for me was honestly my favorite to do. I wanted to go with a more older-esque chic style. I mainly looked at the 80s and 90s for references. I made a lot of references to pearls in her design. I know her character is really into gems and shiny things, but does anybody else see Rarity just clutching her pearls after anything mildly inconveniences her? I had asked a couple fellow art YouTubers on whether or not they thought the hat would be a good idea for her design, and it seems like the consensus was a yes for the hat. It seemed very French, and I love that for her. It seems like whenever I love a redesign that I do, I always have such little things to say about it, which is unfortunate because I would love to blab about the things that I love about her, but that's pretty much all I can manage to come up with. The colors were probably the easiest to do for Rarity. I wanted a dark and brooding kind of color palette, and when you look at it, you just see a rich kind of thing. I don't know. I originally wanted to make the color for hair darker, but it ended up blending too much with the shirt. Here she is. I hope you enjoy her redesign. Well folks, that's the end. I hope you enjoyed all these designs. It was nice to throw my hat into this trend. It was really fun to take this walk of nostalgia. If you were to do this, how would you do it? If you had any critiques or things you liked about these designs, let me know. I love hearing feedback. I liked going through the process of a redesign instead of making things up as I went. If you have any ideas for future videos you want to see from me, let me know, and I'll make sure to add them to my list. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day or night. Bye-bye! I didn't even make this up, but we just hit 200 subscribers, so thank you so much. I was literally just editing this and I saw it, so yeah, thank you.